Hi everyone, Luca from lucasphotography.com, and in this video I'm going to give you my final review on the meikon housing for the Fuji XT1. Now, since I did the unboxing and a quick overview of this product, so lots of people have been asking me obviously a review, because at that price point, for what you can do with it, you want to know a bit more about it. And I know that reviews are not really popular on YouTube for this product. So sorry if I've not made it any earlier, but I was busy. Anyway. So the meikon housing is obviously for the Fuji XT1 and only for the Fuji XT1. You cannot fit any other camera. The only other lens you can use in there is the 18 to 55, which is the kit lens for Fuji, and you cannot use any of the accessories. So you've got to remove the lens hood. You've got to remove the little triangles which you have here to attach your strap, and you cannot have any extras like little buttons or anything. It's got to be completely plain. Once you've taken this off, you just fit it into it. Like so. Then close it. You've got 3 attachments here, which keep it really secured, and you pretty much have every single control from there. Okay. The only thing I would say is, before you fit it into the casing, is you need to allow the screen to be all the time on, the LCD screen, because the capture doesn't. Otherwise, I had a problem when I was using it, is that I could not review the pictures I was taking on the big screen. I had to actually put my eyes on the camera to look at the pictures I was taking. So that was a bit of a pain. So what I did is I changed the setup of the camera to make sure the LCD screen is constantly on. And that's what I did. No. After that, once you've done this, got it inside, you have access to every single control. I think there is 1 or 2 control which you don't have, like the changing the focus setup, like going from single to continuous or manual. I do recommend you use a small aperture and try to shoot in single autofocus. Don't bother. I also like to use high frame rate, because I'm obviously talking for my kind of scenarios, because I do shoot surfing shoots or bodyboard or kind of water sports where it's quite fast and you got to be quick. And as you know, the Fuji XT1 is not exactly the best camera for speed. The 18 to 55 is not the best lens for speed either. So you've got to adapt a bit. Now, once you've got the casing closed, as I say, you really do have access to every single dial at the back here. You can even switch it on and off, which can be good to use less battery. So make sure you switch on and off. Now, when you are on the water, you are shooting, everything works very well. You've got a big button for the shutter, which is good. You've got a record button. Everything is very clear, and you quickly get to use with all the buttons and the setups and etc. So that's very, very good. Zooming in, zooming out, it's very simple. They've really made a good job in this. I think I've got a little bit of sand in there. everything works very well, I've got to say. Now let's talk about the negative, and I think this has quite a few which you need to consider. Now, as I mentioned it, when I use it for action. This camera is not set up for a one-hand camera. You've got to have your two hands on the camera. And if you look at most of the surfers, the professional photographers of surf or any bodyboarding or any water sport where waves are used, they have normally a handle with one hand and a shutter which is works like a gun. So you've got the handle and the shutter. And that is very, very good, because what's happening is you can actually start dipping into the wave, having your arm like this and keep shooting. As with this, because you have to keep your two hands like that, it doesn't allow you to let it go. And that, when you have big waves breaking on top of your head, can make it quite dangerous. And personally, I had an issue where the wave braked between just on my arm, and the camera just went boom. It was completely gone. One of the positives is that this actually casing, despite the weight in the water, will float. And I've actually purchased this, which is an extra, which allows to float even more and make it, you can see it. The problem is that when this happened to me, lucky me, a friend of mine seen this and took the next wave to go and pick up the camera. But you know, you've got to get some security, a leash to attach to your arm and make sure you know you really got it in your hand, because it's quite slippery. It doesn't have very good grip, and for that is not great. Now, if you want to use this underwater and go and make photos and videos of fishes, and when you're on holiday, this is perfect. This is really, really good. You know, I've got nothing bad to say against it. But when it comes to water sport, I think if you are really serious about this, I think you should consider probably a different option. Now, if you do like this, like me, you know, just as a hobby or to have a bit of fun with your friends and take picture of your mates, it's good, but you've got to be aware of the risks. And if you're not, I think you will find it very quickly that it's not exactly the best option. Now, when it comes to security for your equipment, it's very safe. I found the jaunt extremely good. After when I had the accident and the camera left, I saw that the thing would be broken. It had no problem whatsoever. I just used it and just needed to use a bit of air compress to clean the housing and make sure the camera is well dry and there is nothing in a jaunt that could allow water to come in. There is also a security system which will beep and make a red light if water comes into it. So when you hear this, just make sure you get your camera up in the air and get out. But I've not had this problem, and I've really used it in rough condition. I think the biggest wave I've been into was about 2 meters, and I was really in a breaking point, and many times I got shaking a lot. So so that's pretty much it. Now, my recommendation is that for that price, you're not going to get anything better. I think it has a lot of positive. Obviously, there is quite a few negatives which you need to consider depending on what you're going to use it for. If you are very serious about underwater shooting, I don't think the XT1 is probably the best camera for you, and I don't think the meikon is either as a case. I think if you are really serious, you should move to DSLR, wider angle lens, and a proper, caisson. One of the other things which I forgot to mention, which is quite important, is that water kind of gets stuck onto the screen, and you end up by getting gouttlet in there on front, which kind of blur the image. I've tried many different things to clean it and product, but at the end of the day, I just couldn't. So because I'm actually shooting, I'm not actually shooting underwater with it. This I use it to shoot over water. it can become a bit of a problem because the goutlets don't actually drop down, so they stay there. And what you have to do is put it in the water, take it up, it will all go, then you start shooting, and then the goutlet will start to form, and that's becoming a problem. So there is a lot of good things about it, but I don't think this is something you will use for serious work. I think this is good for fun. I think it's great for holidays or great for diving, and you know, probably perfect for diving. But anything else, you know, you've got to consider maybe a better option. As I say, for that price, I don't think you will find anything better. I think it's a great to start into maybe water and underwater photography, and maybe move on to something a bit more serious if a serious kit if you carry on in that way. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will put a few pictures at the end here of shots I've taken underwater, and that is pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Cheers, see ya.
Waiting for the waves. We try to boatman here. We got quite good waves today. It's a good meikon. Pretty powerful. And we got beautiful sunsets after sunrise. Very good night on them. So just waiting for the series to come. Oh, there it comes.